Snoop Dogg is standing firmly beside his daughter, Cori Broadus, as she suffered an unimaginable loss, the death of her baby girl, Cori Dro. And this heartbreaking moment has shaken fans around the world while revealing a deeply human side of one of hip-hop's most iconic families. Cori Broadus, the youngest child of Snoop Dogg, shared the devastating news in late January 2026, revealing that her 10-month-old daughter, Cori Dro, had passed away just weeks after finally coming home from the hospital. For months, Cori had been documenting her difficult pregnancy, the premature birth of her daughter, and the long, emotional battle that followed in the neonatal intensive care unit. What many hoped would be a happy ending instead turned into a tragedy that no parent should ever have to endure. Cori Dro was born in February 2025 at just 25 weeks, nearly 3 months early, after Cori developed serious pregnancy complications linked to HELLP syndrome, a rare and dangerous condition that can threaten both mother and baby. From the moment she entered the world, Cori was fighting for her life. She spent almost her entire first year in the NICU, surrounded by machines, tubes, and constant medical supervision. Cori repeatedly described her daughter as a tiny warrior, sharing updates about milestones that most parents take for granted, breathing on her own, gaining weight, and responding to her parents' voices. After nearly 10 months in the hospital, Cori was finally discharged and brought home in early January 2026. Cori celebrated the moment with overwhelming gratitude, telling her followers that bringing her baby home felt like a miracle. But that miracle was heartbreakingly short-lived. Just 20 days later, on January 26, 2026, Cori passed away. Cori announced the loss days later in an emotional social media post, sharing a black and white photo of herself holding her baby. In words that cut straight to the heart, she wrote that she had lost the love of her life and that her world had completely changed. Her fiancé, Wayne Deuce, also shared his grief publicly, saying he had never known pain like this and promising that he would love his daughter forever, even in her absence. As the news spread, fans were quick to look to Snoop Dogg not as a global rap legend, but as a father and grandfather facing a devastating family tragedy. Known for his laid-back public persona and unshakable confidence, Snoop's response was quiet, emotional, and deeply personal. He posted a family photo with Cori and her brothers, accompanied only by a pink heart and prayer emojis. There were no long captions, no explanations, just a clear message of love, protection, and support. That single post spoke volumes. It showed a father standing beside his daughter in her darkest moment, and a grandfather mourning a grandchild he barely had time to know. Cori's brother, Cordell, echoed that same support, posting the photo and telling his sister that the family would always have her back. The Broadus family closed ranks, showing the world that fame does not shield anyone from grief, and that family becomes everything when tragedy strikes. Cori's story has always been one marked by resilience. Long before becoming a mother, she was open about her struggles with lupus, an autoimmune disease she was diagnosed with as a child. She has spoken candidly about hospital stays, chronic pain, and the emotional toll of living with a lifelong illness. Her pregnancy was already considered high risk, and when complications escalated, doctors were forced to deliver Cori far earlier than planned. Throughout her pregnancy and Cori's hospitalization, Cori maintained a strong connection with her followers, often thanking them for prayers and support. Many parents of premature babies saw themselves in her journey, finding comfort and strength in her honesty. When Cori finally came home, supporters celebrated alongside her, believing the hardest part was finally over. That's what makes this loss hit even harder. It wasn't just sudden, it came after months of hope, fear, strength, and survival. For many fans, it felt personal, like losing a child they had been praying for from afar. The response online was immediate and overwhelming. Messages of condolence flooded Cori's comments, with fans, parents, and fellow celebrities expressing heartbreak and solidarity. Many shared their own stories of infant loss, NICU battles, and grief, turning Cori's post into a space of shared mourning and understanding. People praised her courage for speaking openly during such a painful time, and encouraged her to take all the time she needed to heal. Snoop Dogg, who has often spoken about the importance of family and legacy, has always been vocal about protecting his children from the darker sides of fame. This moment reinforced that image, not as a superstar, but as a deeply devoted father. Friends close to the family say Snoop has been fully present, prioritizing his daughter's emotional well-being above everything else. The tragedy has also renewed conversations around premature birth, HELP syndrome, and the emotional toll placed on parents who spend months living between hope and fear in hospital hallways. Cori's experience highlights a reality many families face quietly without public attention, and her openness has brought much-needed awareness to these issues. Despite the heartbreak, Cori has continued to honor her daughter's memory, describing her as her angel and her purpose. Those close to her say she is leaning heavily on her family, especially her parents, Snoop Dogg and Cori Broadus, who have been by her side through every step of this journey. For fans who grew up watching Snoop Dogg dominate music, movies, and pop culture, this moment is a reminder that behind the fame is a family experiencing the same pain as anyone else. Grief doesn't care about status, wealth, or influence. It arrives without warning and changes lives forever. As the Broadus family continues to grieve privately, the love and support pouring in from around the world shows how deeply Cori and her daughter's story has touched people. It's a story of strength, love, loss, and the unbreakable bond between parent and child, a bond that doesn't end, even in death. In this moment of sorrow, Snoop Dogg's quiet show of support stands as a powerful example of what truly matters when everything else fades away: family, love, and being present for the people you need most. Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.